Hi guys, Nishant here. In this tutorial, we are going to take a look at links in HTML. HTML links are hyperlinks. Links are nearly found in all web pages. Links allow user to move from one page to another. A link is not always a text. It can be image or any other HTML element. So now let's start. I've already saved the program as links.html. So first we are going to write HTML syntax. Inside title, I'm going to write links in HTML. Links is written inside the body tag using anchor tag. So here href attribute specifies the link address. So inside the link address we are going to write https www.google.com, and here we are going to write link text, that is the visible text part. So I am going to write Google is my frequently visited search engine. So when someone clicks on this part, it will render them to this link google.com. So now let's save this link and open the file in the web browser. So as you can see in the result, Google is my frequently visited search engine. So when I click on this, it will render it to google.com. So now let's take a look at some styles using CSS. So here I am going to use external CSS. I've already created a file called linkstyle.css. So for that we are going to specify link tag inside the head section. We don't need here type, and in the href we are going to give the reference of linkstyle.css. Make sure the name you write here is similar to the reference linkstyle.css. So let's save this file, and here we are going to write our CSS code. So first we are going to take a look at anchor tag, and I'm going to increase the font size using font size attribute, and I'm going to increase font size by 50 pixels. So first let's save this both file and let's refresh the page. As you can see, the font size have now increased to 50 pixels. So now let's take a look at some more CSS code. So first I'm going to write A for anchor tag. Inside that I'm going to give my own text color for the link, curly braces. Inside that I'm going to specify the color, and that color is red. So let's save this file. I'm going to write one more thing, A visited curly braces, and I'm going to specify one more color. Inside that I'm going to specify blue. So what happens is, I'm going to explain you using comment. So this color red is displayed if the link is never visited. So color is displayed if link is never visited, while color blue appears when the link is visited. So let's save this first, both the files, and let's check it out if Google is ever visited or not. So refreshing it, as you can see, Google is my frequently visited browser is now blue because it is frequently visited. So if I change my code, if I write down here a website that never exists like nishant.com, and let's save it first. Let's see what happens. As you can see, Google is my frequently visited browser. This text color is changed to red because it is never visited. So now let's write some more CSS code. So again I'm going to write a hover. So whenever someone hovers on the link, it should change its color. So I'm going to mention color, and color here would be light green, and I'm going to give here text decoration. Text decoration will be none. So now let's save this first and let's take a look. So refreshing it. So when I hover on this, there is no underline and the color is now light green. I'm going to add one more thing here, that is active. So when someone clicks on this link, it should change the color while clicking it. So I'm going to write active, and for color I'm going to mention yellow, and I'm also going to write text decoration, and inside text decoration I'm going to mention it as underline. So let's save this first. Let's check it. So Google is my frequently visited Google is my frequently visited search engine. The color is red because it is never visited. When I hover on it, it gives me light green color. So when I click on it, oops, there's something wrong. So let's check it out what happened. Let's save the both file again. Let's refresh it. As you can see, when I click on the link, it gives me a yellow color and an underline. So that's all for the CSS. So now we are going to take a look at target attribute. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. HTML provides 5 values to the target attribute. So now let's take a look at them. So I'm going to explain you using comments. Target attribute. So the first value is blank underscore blank. Second value is underscore self. Third value is underscore parent. Fourth value is underscore top, and the fifth and the last value is frame name. So I'm going to explain you each of this value. So here blank, what blanks does is open the link in the new window. What self does is open the link in the same window. What parent does is open the link in the parent frame. What top does is open the link in the full body of the window. Full body of the window. And what frame name does is it will open the link in the specified frame name. But in this tutorial we are going to take a look at blank and self. We are not going to take a look at the rest of them. We are going to take a look at them in further tutorial. So first, how to write target. So to write target, we have to write it inside the starting block of anchor tag. So target equals to underscore self. Underscore self is the by default attribute, so it should not give me any change in my result. So let's refresh it and let's click on it. As you can see, it does not change the window. So now what happens when I write here blank? If I write here blank and let's save it and let's refresh it again, it should open in a new window. As you can see, it opened a new window. So that's my result. So I want to teach you one more thing, and that is images as a link. We can also use image as a link. To do that, we simply use image tag inside a anchor tag. So let's take a look at that. So first I'm going to give an anchor tag inside body, here an anchor tag. Inside the href I'm going to give a reference. Here I'm using HTTPS and www.google.com. Inside the anchor tag I'm going to write my image tag. Inside this source I'm going to specify the path for the image. So for finding the path, let's do that. So this is my image path. So let's copy that and so this is my image path. So now let's save this first. I am going to write here br tag for line break. So now let's save this and refresh the page. As you can see, there is an image and then there is a link. So now when you hover on the image, it is a link. So when I click on it, it sends me to google.com. So now let's take a look at CSS for this image. So for the image, what we can do is we can change the size of the image. But first what we are going to do is we are going to add some more images. For that I am not going to use any anchor tag because I don't want that images to be a link. So I'm just going to write image, one more tag, image, and inside that I'm going to specify my source. So here the file name was 24 and 25. So let's save this first and let's check out what happens. So refreshing it, as you can see, first image, second image, third image, and then our link. Using HTML, we can also specify bookmark as a part of web page. This is done using HTML bookmarks. HTML bookmarks are used to allow readers to jump to specific part of web page. Means what can you do is you just click on a link and it will render you to a specific part of web page. So when the link is clicked, the page will scroll to the location with the bookmark. So let me show it to you. So here I am going to add a bookmark to a link. So to do that, what we are going to do is so first we are going to give an ID to any image. Here I am giving an ID. Here I am giving an ID. ID is like 02, and I am going to give one more link using anchor tag, and I am passing that ID inside the href attribute using hashtag and the ID number. And here is my link text. So here I'm writing scroll to the image. So let's see what happens. So when I save this, let's refresh the page. As you can see, oops, let me write BR between the both the anchor tags so that you can get a better understanding. So now let's save this and refresh it. As you can see, both links are now separated. So what happens when I click on this? So when I click on this, it will render me to the second image. First image, second image, and then third image. As it went to the second image, now it changes its color to the blue, because as we give in the CSS code, when it is visited, the color should change to the blue. Now I'm going to change CSS for image, curly braces. I'm going to change width equal to 800 pixels and height is also equal to 800 pixels. So first let's save this file, both the file. Let's refresh it. Now as you can see, all the image size is 800 pixels by 800 pixels. So now when I click on this, second image appears. I can do the same for each image. So here I'm going to copy this ID and use it for the third image. So what happens then? ID should be the same, it doesn't matter whatever you write in the ID. So now let's save this first and refresh it. So when you refresh it, now scroll to the image, it gives me third image. So that is what we call bookmarks. I can use one more function inside the CSS for image, that is float. So using float, what happens is it will align to the specified address, that is left or right, in the reference of text. So let's see what happens. I have written left. So let's save this and let's refresh it. There will be no changes because it is already on the left of the text. The text is now on the right hand side. So now let's reverse it. So now I'm going to write here right. So let's save this. Now let's refresh it. As you can see, text is now on the right hand side, sorry, left hand side, and all the images are on the left hand side. So that's all for links in HTML. Thank you for watching this tutorial.